The final 10 players of Founders Packs 2.1, they are gonna be live to trade today. And on this video, I'm gonna tell my opinions from what players I think it's worth it to buy and what players I think it's worth it to sell. So here is the list of 10 players: Gravenberch, Martinez, Xavi Simons, Højlund, Eberechi Eze, Serge Gnabry, Jonathan David, Grimaldo, Romero, and Manuel Neuer. And I have 2 points. I'm considering 2 points for what I think it's worth it to buy and what players I think it's worth it to sell. Basically, the next game, because the next game it's the last chance you will have to get some Founders 2.2 allocations, so it's kind of important. And the second point that I'm considering is the international break. That's very important because players that are not on international, they will be 2 weeks out of tournaments. So this can be a problem for them. Their prices are not gonna increase a lot. Now I'm gonna put here all of the next fixtures of all of these players for us to analyze which one could have a better performance. And I will also say if they are going to play the international that we will have next week or not. So starting for the first player, Gravenberch. His game is against Chelsea. It's an away game on Stamford Bridge. I don't think that he's gonna be I don't think it's an easy game, obviously, and I don't know if Liverpool will. It's like an easy win, so I'm not sure if Gravenberch it's will be on the top 5 midfielders on this next tournament. So it's not. It's a little bit risky to bet on him just on this next game. And apart from him, from his international games, he's not as 100% started on Netherlands. I will let their lineups on the last 2 international here. You can see that Gravenberch on the first game he was bench, so he's not 100% starter. Okay, so next, Martinez from Aston Villa. He still have 2 games to play before the international because one of them it's tonight after the players go live to trade. He's a good bet for goalkeeper because he still have 2 games, but he doesn't play international as well. So if you are focusing just for the Founders Packs allocations, I think he can be good, especially from the second game against Burnley. He can be on the top 3. Xavi Simons, his next game is against Leeds away. And Simons, personally, I don't like him very much for Founders for this game because he's not a farmer. He's not like Vitinha. He's a midfielder, but he's not like Vitinha. He's not like Pedri. He doesn't farm 50, 60 points passes per game. So he's depending on goals and on assists. So I don't like this kind of players. So I don't think that he's a good option. I'm not gonna buy him. Højlund, here we have a good option because Napoli is gonna face Genoa. They are the 18, I think, on the Serie A. And Napoli is on a good run. Højlund just scored 2 goals yesterday. He has a good combination with De Bruyne. So Højlund is a good option for today's trade. Actually, he's not a starter on Denmark. At least on the 2 last games that they played, he was on the bench. So this could be a problem for the future. But if you are focused just on the founder specs, he's a really good forward option because Napoli home game versus Genoa, he has good chances to score goals. Eberechi Eze, midfielder from Arsenal. He's a good option. I think he will be one of the most hyped players that people will try to snipe today. But at the same time, I don't know if he's a starter from Arsenal, but I think he will start this next game because previous game he was in the bench on the Champions League. So I think Arteta will put him to start on the weekend. Of course, he's a good player. He plays from Arsenal. Arsenal has a home game against West Ham. But talking about international games, he's not a starter from England. Like we don't know who is a starter from England, but it's not 100% that he will start from England, and he just played one international games for the next tournaments because one of the England games are a friendly, so doesn't count for the Football.Fun competition for the tournaments. He's a good option focusing on just on the next game against West Ham if he will be a starter. So pay attention if he will be a starter or not. Next player, Serge Gnabry. He's not a starter from Bayern as well. So I don't know if he's a good option for the future because like the Bayern attack is basically Luis Diaz, Ulisi, Harry Kane, Nicholas Jackson. So I don't know if he's a really good option, but actually he is a starter from Germany for the next two tournaments that we will have on the international. He will be a starter. This is a good point for him. But focusing on the next founder specs allocation, I don't know if he will be a starter on this next game. Now talking about Jonathan David, for me the worst option for this of these players, because like personally I don't like him as a player. I don't think he's that good. Like even if he scores, he's not going to cook some points. So I really don't see him having a top five on the forwards. And he is a Canadian, so he don't play the international. So like he's not a good option. I'm gonna sell him today. Now talking about Alex Grimaldo, for me one of the best options of these players. Talking about his next match, it's against Union Berlin, a home game, and Grimaldo he seems to be a good tournament points farmer. Like he did like 100 points on last tournament, and he didn't even score the goal, give assist, and he didn't had a clean sheet. So he's a good option. I think he for the future for the next weeks, months of Football.Fun, he will be one of the top defender ever. So I think I recommend you to buy Grimaldo. He's a very, very good option. Talking about the next 2 weeks, the next two tournaments that we will have international, he's bench on Spain. He's bench from Cucurella. So yes, on the next two tournaments he will be off. But in general, regarding the future and for this specific next game, he's a good opportunity to you to give you more founders 2.2 allocations. Now Romero, talking about Romero, is basically the same as I said about Xavi Simons. Like Tottenham plays a away game against Leeds. I think they can have a clean sheet there, but at the same time he doesn't play international, and Tottenham it's not trustable club. So for the future, I don't think that he will be a top five defender of the game. So I don't know. I'm not gonna buy him, okay? But I don't know if I'm gonna sell. I think maybe I'm gonna keep him just in case for this next game against Leeds. He can have a clean sheet. So I will keep him, but probably after this game I'm gonna sell him because he doesn't play international, and I don't want to keep Romero 2 weeks in my squad doing nothing. So that's it about Romero. Manuel Neuer, he's a starter for Bayern. We know that Bayern on Bundesliga they will have most of the game on clean sheet, so he's a good option for goalkeeper on the future of Football.Fun. I think he can be one of the top 3, top 5 goalkeepers. So he's a good option. But focusing on the next 2 weeks about the international games, he is retired from Germany, so he doesn't play more for Germany. So this can be a problem for him talking about international games. But focusing on the next game, I think that it can be a good opportunity to you. So now talking about an overall, about all of the players, I'm gonna say that first of all, any of them are a big star on their clubs, neither on their international teams. So any of them is like 100% must to buy. For example, the previous 10 players that we had to buy. For me, De Bruyne was the 100% certain player to invest because he's a he's a star on Napoli and he's a star of Belgium. So this is a good player. But here we don't have this. We don't have this kind of player. I would say a little Grimaldo. He's a star on Bayer Leverkusen. Like he will be always the starter, you know. But we don't have a must player to buy on these 10 players. For me, the top 3 it's Grimaldo, based on this next game. Like he can be on the top 5 and this can give you more allocations for the next found packs. And Højlund as well, I think he's a good option for this next game. And also he can be a starter from Denmark, we don't know. And the other one, I would say Eberechi Eze. So this is my top 3, Grimaldo, Højlund, and Eze. Basically, I'm just facing the next fixtures: Arsenal and West Ham home, Leverkusen and Union Berlin home, Napoli and Genoa home. I think these 10 players have the best chance to give you some tournament points on these 10 options. So that's my final consideration about these last 10 players. I ranked from 1 to 10, starting from Grimaldo being the top 1 and Jonathan David being the last one. So that's it. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. I hope that you liked, and subscribe here in the channel. It would help me a lot. And that's it.